We have created the stigma, therefore we are in control. We have to undo what we have created. Or instead of undoing, relearning. Okay, let's take lessons. How did we arrive in these situations and how we need to move forward?
The wellness session that I have for them is in 1 hour. When they come in, it's not work. It's human, what you're feeling, what's your stress level, what do you want to contribute with, how can we help you be better today and be better later so your performance doesn't falter.
I talk a lot. I have no issue of going to anyone in the organization, even the owner of the organization, and I say, like, I'm not happy or I'm stressed. I have this strategy when I'm stressed to take a break.
Welcome to From Hero to Human, your bold and authentic platform where we discuss solutions for mental health and well-being for healthcare professionals and beyond. Here, we don't issue prescriptions, we issue choice, because mental health and well-being are deeply personalized concepts. We are recording these sessions in May. May is a month of International Nurses Week and also International Coaching Week. We have chosen, or the guest chosen us to come on this platform to amplify the message about mental health and well-being and to provide more opportunities for our viewers to learn, to pick what is aligning with their being, practice it, and provide that positive change for themselves and for their ecosystems. So today, we welcome Moayyed Othman to our platform.
Thank you very much.
Moayyed is a business operations specialist, employee assistant program lead, people development expert with over 20 years of experience across industries, including 10 years in mental health. And since 2014, he is focused on employee well-being and people development, aligning business goals with initiatives that promote mental health, engagement, and performance. Welcome again to From Hero to Human.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you today. And I'm very happy to talk about this topic because it's my passion. It's what I believe, and it's something I really would like all people to know about people well-being. I will focus on people in general, not only the employees, because employees are part of the society. So they are at the end human. Like we are all employees and we are all human. So thank you very much.
Lovely. So we first met a few months ago at a well-being conference.
Exactly.
And I was impressed by your energy. This is what really drove me. And I thought, yes, Moayyed is going to come on our podcast and share with us first the energy, the storytelling, and also some solutions. So our viewers can pick what is fitting for them and how they can apply it in their life.
Sure, definitely. That would be my pleasure, to be honest. And I'm happy again to be with you.
So before we proceed, can you tell us a little bit about who you are as a human and how did you arrive in this beautiful space of employee assistance program, mental health and well-being?
Okay, this is a good question. Actually, I started my life as a software engineer. So I'm far away from human. I was working, my study is only with computers and machine. However, before finishing my study, I start working and I found myself more active and more performing better with a human than just working in front of a computer or laptop. So I did a shift in my career. So I started working in HR. I worked in training and development for around 7 to 8 years. I was doing training, soft skills, personal development for the employees in my previous company. And then I got the opportunity to work with a startup mental health service provider. I was working in a corporate level, so I thought like it's time for me to try another system or another kind of business. So I worked with them, and it was my first time working in mental health. Start learning, start reading a lot about mental health. What's mental health? Because I had no clue before joining, and I start reflect things to my personal life, my family, and I saw like I start thinking like, yeah, this is something we all need. So that's why I decided to continue, and I succeeded in this field. During my experience, one of the initiatives was the employee assistance program. I mean, it's not me who created the employee assistance program. It's a program developed in the US for a long time, targeting the employees. And we just tried to activate this concept here in UAE, start connecting with corporate companies, with government companies, entities, in order to explain more about the employee assistance program and how can this program add value to the company or the corporate. And yes, now I'm almost 11 years in this field, and still the journey is still at the beginning. So we are still going on.
That's amazing, Moayyed. And I think it's a great journey that you're on. And one of the things that really I really into is mental health. And mental health, as described by the World Health Organization, is a state of well-being where we realize our capabilities. We are able to give to the society. We are able to manage the stressors of our lives, and we are able to contribute to the community and to our organizations as well. Now, stigma is the hardest part of mental health, because what we need to do is start to destigmatize and make it less taboo and make it a more normal topic to talk about within our organizations. From this regards, I wanted to ask you, in your experience, what are some of the things that we can do that will start to shift the mindset when it comes to mental health within organizations?
Thank you very much. Well, from my experience, I believe we are the one who created the stigma. If we go back to history, like I'm not talking about only Arabic culture, but in all over the world, we created, as a human, we created the stigma from our movie productions, from our media. Whenever they want to spotlights mental health issues, they go always they go to the extreme cases, which is the percentage of these cases in the world are really very, very minimum, but they are still, because they care about selling tickets. They don't do it as an awareness. So we created the stigma, and we are the only people who can change this. Now, how can we change this? If everyone start talking about mental health normally. Unfortunately, me and Magda, we were having this discussion. And a lot of people, they talk about awareness. We want to make it normal thing to talk about mental health. However, when we are into our circle of people, like our family, our friends, we stop talking about it. So we don't openly talk about it. In front of maybe the cameras, we are very good talking about it. Okay. But with families, we feel like, do I have to tell my brother that he might be depressed or he might need some help? And we stop talking about it because we believe that it is still a shame to be or to have a challenge, let's say, and mentally, whatever is the challenge. But in medical, in our field, we believe that there is no health without mental health. In Arabic, if I can use Arabic word, we used to say العقل السليم في الجسم السليم, which is a healthy mind and healthy body. After working in this field, I start to think in a different way. Actually, healthy body and a healthy mind, because everything starts from the mind, not from the body. So if you are healthy in your mind, you will be healthy in your body. But if you are not healthy in your mind, whether it's stress, complications, anxiety, depression, you will not be able to do any kind of activities to make your body healthy.
Yeah, I think it's super important what you've just said, that we have created the stigma. Therefore, we are in control now of this narrative.
Exactly.
We have to undo what we have created. Or instead of undoing, relearning. Okay, let's take lessons. How did we arrive in these situations and how we need to move forward? Because every change, every transformation has to happen from a position of love. So we cannot say, why did we do it? Okay, we are here. How can we move forward? And I think raising this awareness, again, awareness. What is awareness? Because everyone is talking about, okay, let's raise awareness. What is awareness?
Well, as you mentioned, we created this stigma. So now we need to start talking about mental health in a normal way. Like start showing and telling people who are still having this gap that when we say someone is anxious or someone has a depression, okay, this person still a normal person, still can be performing, still can continue his life or her life. So then when we all start speaking the same language, that it's normal. Like, I mean, I don't feel bad to say I have a flu. But then why do I have to feel bad when I say I'm stressed? So, because being a stress, I mean, it's normal thing. It's normal reaction for a human. Being overstressed sometimes might affect you and your performance and your productivity in general. That's why if you will not be able to speak about stress, then you will not be able to avoid being overstressed. So by talking normal about mental health in general and stop focusing on the extreme cases with mental health disorders, like the extremely aggressive people, which is really the percentage is very, very small in the world. But on the other hand, the percentage of people suffering from stress, depression, anxiety is very huge. So let's focus on what people are facing now instead of talking about multi-personality disorder, which is one of maybe hundreds of million cases. So that, I believe, if everyone starts speaking the same language, I believe by time we will reach to a point like maybe what we see in Europe or in developed society, where they start studying about mental health from schools. They have normal conversation about mental health. I see our society going to that direction. Maybe it's still like with baby steps, but I believe with our effort, other people's effort, and support of everyone, we can move faster and we can reach there.
Moayyed, what you're saying is very valuable, actually. And I can connect it with creating safe psychological spaces in organizations when it comes to staff, for example. Because leaders need to have that ability to understand that if their staff are stressed, their performance is going to go down, and that performance will affect the business. Now, there's a lot of policies in organizations where they say, we don't discriminate against mental health, we appreciate everyone, we will support. But when it comes to the real deal of actually putting the actions in, we see that they step back and they're like, not really ready to embrace and take charge and actually help these individuals. So how can we, as leaders, for example, create more of these safe spaces so that we can normalize these discussions more, whether in our families, whether outside in organizations and communities?
Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, first, let's start from the top, okay, from business owners, top leaders, CEOs. When we are talking about well-being, and this is I cannot say mental well-being or emotional well-being, individual. Okay, we are talking about overall well-being, which includes financial well-being, stability well-being, career well-being, all together. In order to reach to emotional well-being, all together should be one package. Now, the second thing, we should stop thinking of ticking boxes. Okay, that yes, we have this program in our company. We provided this training. We provided this session. Just because we have a KPIs, we have a list that we need to tick it and finish it at the end of the year to go to our managers and say, we did 1, 2, 3, and to shift, to start believe in what we are doing. So if we start believe in mental health or employee well-being or human well-being in general, without thinking about the KPIs and the projects that we need to close or that we need to before the end of the year, in that case, we will be able to make talking about well-being and emotional well-being normal among the companies. But yes, I agree with you. A lot of companies, they say we have a policy about mental health, we have employee assistance program active. And yet, if one of the employees is facing a challenge or having an issue, they go directly to the wrong action to solve this problem. They don't show that, okay, where are the programs you mentioned? What the values you talked about? The support you are giving to the employees, where your first reaction for the situation is to go for replacement or termination or downgrading or everything. So we need to believe in employee well-being, not just to make a list that we need to complete. And this is what I believe. And this should come from the top, starting from the business owners, going down to the employees, because I'm in a senior position, and sometimes and you are also in senior position, so you are between two levels, between the team members and the owners or the board of or CEOs. So you need to fight, let's say, in both sides. You need to talk with the senior level or the owners about the importance of employee well-being, and also you need to tell the team that you are trying and you are doing your best, and this is the maximum you could have. So that's why I believe this should start from the top, not from the middle, not from the bottom. So it should be from the top.
When I listen to this conversation, the smile is getting bigger and bigger on my face.
Absolutely.
You know what just came to my mind? To all the CEOs, CFOs who are listening to this conversation, well-being is about being, not doing.
Exactly.
This is a simple recipe.
Exactly. And again, just to talk, not only the CFOs, CEOs, but again, also it goes to the business owners. We need always to think about the long-term return of investment. Okay. Because we were discussing before recording, when we are talking about employee well-being, actually we are not talking about employee well-being. We are talking about society well-being. We are talking about country well-being, because I'm an employee, maybe you are employees, and we all belong to families. We all belong to the same society. So if I'm not feeling well and if I don't have a well-being, then what can I deliver to the new generation coming? My family, my kids, my nieces, my nephews. So they will, in future, they will be also having this challenge. And then we will see ourselves going backward instead of going forward. So think about the employee as part of the society, not like just a person who comes to finish the work and go. No, because otherwise you can replace this human with machines.
Yeah.
Okay. replace it. Machines, they don't have feelings, okay, but maybe they can't give you what the normal employee, normal human can give you. So that's why you are hiring employees. You are not hiring machines or buying machines. Okay, so think about this as a human, according to your the title
Podcast.
is the podcast title
From
is
hero to
Hero
human.
to Human. I mean, I believe every one of us, every human being in this world is a human. Sorry, I wanted to say everyone is a hero. Everyone is a hero, but in different way. So there is a Chinese say like everyone is talented, but you cannot challenge a fish to climb a tree.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone has a talent. So our responsibility is to look at these talents and utilize the people talents in the right place. Okay, and give them the right condition, right full well-being, not only mental health, because you cannot talk about mental health if you don't have financial health for your employees. If you don't have stability health for your employee, career health for your employee. So giving a full well-being for your employees, and you will see that everyone will give their best. But don't challenge them to do something that they cannot do. Put them somewhere they can do and invest on that area, and they will give you the maximum. And this is as a leader how we need to see it. Like sometimes in my team, I see a person who's not performing in this function, so I put them in another function, and for a surprise, you see the same person performing way better in another function compared to the previous function. So that if I'm not thinking as a human, I'll say, okay, he's a bad or she's a bad employee, let's replace. But by moving the employee to another function, the same employees start performing great. And this is something we don't see it a lot in our company. I hired you for this position, for this role. If you cannot do it, I don't have a time to try you somewhere else. So let me replace you. And we were talking before the video about there is a cost, hidden cost, but with hiring, training, termination, that they cannot see it now, but it's a huge cost. Because I cannot say that any employee will be ready to work before 6 months. That's why in the government they have 6 months probation period. Like I mean, you need at least 3 to 4 months of training for your employee, which is money. You are paying salaries, you are paying for training, you are paying for benefits, and they are not giving anything back. But this is normal. So after 6 months, when they start giving you, if they are not giving you what you are expecting, try to see how to solve the issue, not to go to the easy decision of changing the employee or replacing or termination.
I think you've just disclosed a gold prescription here. I haven't heard anyone before talking about employee well-being as a concept that it is about the society. Because when we close ourselves in that box, it's only tick, tick, tick in the organization.
Exactly.
When you start looking around, as a leader, I have a duty to deliver this positive ripple effect, not only in the organization, but also outside.
Exactly.
And now we are in the year of community, 2025 in the UAE. What a beautiful way to help people understand what employee well-being is about. It's about the human, and the human is not only inside the organization, but everywhere
Outside,
else.
exactly, outside, everywhere. But otherwise, if we will keep ourselves in this box, we will not see any improvement in well-being in general.
You know, this conversation is getting better and better, and I cannot stop nodding like that and smiling, and at the back of my head, oh my God, these are gems. These are words of wisdom coming out, honestly. And yes, when you mentioned society, and yes, when you mentioned the year of community, and yes, if we go back, we were tribes. We were never meant to thrive alone or without each other. And the only way we can build strong, resilient, and sustainable societies is by connecting again.
Exactly.
Is remembering that human being, just like me, even though I'm up there as the leader, that human being is the person responsible for the business I'm making, for the revenue that I'm having. So it's in my most important regards that I take care of that person. And if I do, from nursing perspective, they will take care for the patient, and the patient will take care of the community. The community will be happier. We won't even have mental health issues reaching to these levels if we go to the deep core of the issues.
Exactly, I agree. And like, if we go back like years ago, when, let's say, life was a bit simple comparing to nowadays, there are a lot of challenges that we are seeing today. It was not there in the past, because life was easier, was simple. The society was stronger. The connection between people were completely different. But instead of moving to a better stages, okay, we see that we are moving in the different direction. Like every time we are making things more complicated instead of making it better. And now we are like, after COVID, everyone start talking about mental health. I mean, okay, what happened during COVID? I mean, do you want to say that before COVID, everyone was healthy? Okay, and now, but because of the media, and now it's, I feel like sometimes it's a trend, people talking about mental health. But these things, I'm working in this field for 11 years, and this, and I'm talking about these challenges from the first time I started. And I'm sure there are a lot of people before me in this field talking about the same things way before COVID. Why now? Why now? Why do we have to make it like big media campaign in order people to start listening and to start talking about it? So hopefully one day we will reach. I can see it. To be honest, I believe in this. I saw the difference in my short, let's say, 10 years, 11 years. I saw the difference from the time we started till now. Yes, now people are more open to talk about it. Even leaders, business owners are more open to listen and to discuss these things. Now, we'll not say everyone is taking the right decision, but they are at least starting to talk about these things. But before, nobody was talking. Like when we were talking about employee assistance program before, nobody was willing to listen. Like, what do you mean by employee assistance program? Why do we need employee assistance program? We are giving them salaries. They should be happy.
I think it's about creating awareness. And number two is about creating spaces. So this week, Nina and myself, we attended a nursing symposium as we are preparing to celebrate International Nurses Week. And I cannot even describe how much these nurses need spaces just to come and express how they feel. I've done a lot of this initiative with hospitals here in the UAE and in Saudi Arabia. Every single time during the session, people are so eager to tell me that they are stressed. It means perhaps there isn't a space somewhere else for them to express. And then I also see the relief. Okay, it is normal to feel stressed. Then I start going into the science of stress. It is a normal human experience. Okay, we need to start normalizing it. There isn't good stress or bad stress. There is chronic and there is acute. And all the feedback that we've received yesterday, thank you for giving us this awareness. Now I understood that stress is normal. I mean, for me, this is the gratitude, and that's why I am in this space, to help people understand we should not fear stress. It is there for a reason. You need tools. You need knowledge, you need science, you need to understand it.
Exactly. And you need to have, like, as you mentioned, like, you see people talking outside their organization. talking about their challenges, talking about their stress, talking about their plans from with other people outside the organization. I believe we need to work on a plan, strategy, in order to help these people to say the same things inside the organization. So instead of going to your friend and say, I'm stressed, okay, go to your colleague, go to your manager and say and discuss this with that. It happened to me, like we had a period where we had a shortage in the staff and a lot of projects happened during this period. And one of my team members, he came to me and he said, I want to tell you something. I'm very stressed and I'm overwhelmed and I'm almost about to burn out. I'm just saying that. And he's one of my best employees. Okay. One of my best team members. He said, I just want to tell you that because if you saw a change in my performance, so you understand why. And I was happy. Honestly, I was happy that he came to me and explained it in advance. Okay. And I told him, yes, I understand we are going through the difficult time. And I know there are a lot of projects going on and you are almost working on everything by yourself. And sometimes I think like how this guy can manage all this. Okay. I'm the manager, but still surprised, like how this employee, I told him, you know what? You can take few days off, just chill, relax, don't think about the work and come back. I mean, I can take it in another way and say, no, you should perform. But this employee is giving me the best outcome for 4 years. And I know that because I am an employee and I'm a human, I know the stress we are going through. I know the challenge we are facing, shortage of staff. We are still training a new staff. And this is what I mentioned about hiring and people leaving and rehiring, retraining. We are training a new staff. And at the same time, we need to work on other projects. So I was also stressed. I was managing my stress, but he was not able to do that. So he came and talked to me. But do we have this happening everywhere? I don't think so. Like, if you ask any employee, can you go to your manager and say that I'm stressed or I feel depressed or I'm sad? I believe like 95, if not 99% of the employees will say, no, we cannot say it because we are afraid if we will say like we are stressed, they will replace us. And this came because of the culture, not of the company only, but the society.
Yeah.
The entire society has this culture. I'm in a managerial position. I'm the God. I'm the boss. No, I'm a human like you. Come talk to me because at one point I need to go to someone else and talk and to explain that, yes, I'm going through difficult time and I need a break, for example, or I need a support. I need extra resources. I need extra employees to help me, whatever that makes me performing. Otherwise, if I'm not performing well, you as a business leader or a business owner, you will not get anything out of it.
It's very interesting that you would say that, Moayyed, that you had that employee coming to you. And this shows that you have a safe space for that employee to come to you to actually express what's going on.
And I was really happy.
Absolutely.
And I wish, like, I hope all my employees will see this episode when it's online. And I want to, from here, to send this message to everyone. You can come approach me and talk normally. I mean, you don't need to keep it and to think how Moayyed will see it, because Moayyed, before being a manager, Moayyed is a human. So you come and talk and let's discuss it. Let's find solution. And also a message for all leaders, all business owners. You should have open door for your employees,
Mhm.
for your team, because they are, as you mentioned, they are the source of your business.
Absolutely.
If the happy employee means happy client, means happy business. If your employees are not happy or stressed, means you will lose your clients, you will lose your business.
Very true. And to be honest, I created a wellness session for our teams because I burnt out and I know how stress can be, and I didn't have anyone to go to. Luckily, I have Magda on my side and she was very supportive. But these guys that we work with, they don't. So the wellness session that I have for them is in 1 hour. When they come in, it's not work. It's human, what you're feeling, what's your stress level, what do you want to contribute with, how can we help you be better today and be better later so your performance doesn't falter. And now I can see the ripple effect. They're creating these WhatsApp groups where they encourage each other to push each other to actually talk about feeling stressed or feeling unhappy or feeling, torn at home for whatever it is. And they embrace it so much. And you can see sometimes in that room, they tear up. Sometimes they cry because finally there is an element in their work where someone actually sits and wants to listen to what happens around them and how to support them. Because as you said, if your employee performs well, everything else is performing
yes.
well.
And this is what I want. I mean, you mentioned about having a session about, let's say, stress management or well-being session. My message to everyone, we should not have it as sessions once a year. It should be a culture.
It's a monthly culture.
It should be a culture. It should be, we should have the open space every day.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't leave the team to give them this one session and go back to the list you have. We did awareness about well-being. I mean, because I see it, to be honest, when we go and do awareness sessions with corporate companies, I feel like they are coming just for them, just to spend this 1 hour. Okay. Because sometimes I feel that the employees, they are reflecting what we are saying in the session with what they are facing in the reality. And they say, okay, what you are saying is great, but this is not the reality. So in order to do awareness about well-being, you should have a well-being first. Okay, so have the well-being for your employees. So when you do awareness and you teach them tools, techniques, okay, they already have the base and they can utilize the tools. But I had a discussion with Magda long time when we met first time. And one time I received a request from a corporate company. They want to have a well-being program for their team, a huge team. And then I start gathering some information about the situation, the living condition of their team members, salaries, financial stability, everything. And at the end, I told them my message was clear. I believe better than giving me this money to do a mental health program, okay, I suggest you take this money and distribute it for your employees, because the employees is not yet in financial well-being, career well-being, so like any kind of well-being. And now you are jumping to talk about the mental health well-being or emotional well-being. No, start from the base. Start from, because in life we have few, like, you have things that you have to have it, like you need
the basic needs,
needs. You have you need to have a house, food,
water, shelter,
exactly things, these are basics. And then the other things, good to have, nice to have, but there are, if you don't have the must to have, you cannot talk about things that nice to have. Okay, so don't come and tell me we want to have employee well-being program, mental health program, which will cost money, okay, and your employees are struggling to complete the month for food.
For food, exactly.
You have just given another prescription for those who are struggling to
Even though we
understand.
don't issue them, but
For those who are struggling to understand what well-being is and how to approach it in
Exactly.
organizations, because I work with leaders and teams in organizations, and people struggle. Okay, well-being is scary. Well-being, they think, is a huge concept. It's gonna cost me a lot of money. I don't know where to
Yes.
start. People are confused. So coming with simple solutions. First, let's understand the concept. It's not only about mental health, it's everything else.
Exactly.
And the financial well-being is something that is least talked about.
Yeah.
Here in UAE, where majority of people are expats, you know, there are other stressors in life as well. So your family is elsewhere. You are struggling, let's say, financially. The health insurance is not there, so it's not covering, let's say, majority of your needs. Then, you know, just try to understand this. What else is this human being struggling with before you're gonna bring them yoga session?
Exactly. But and this will take us back to the point that we need to make it culture, not because it's a trend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I believe. Like, let's talk about, it's nice to talk about mental health, to have awareness, but it should be a culture, and it should be about overall human well-being, not because it's a trend and everyone is talking about mental health, so we go and talk about mental health.
I love that. I think you just made an action point that we should all focus on, which is the culture part, which is to empower the teams to be able to talk about what's going on. And us leaders who are in between the higher people should go back to the higher people and tell them, guys, this is what we hear and this is what we think that should happen. And we try to understand their agenda as well. For us to be able to be successful.
And to have open, transparent discussion.
Yes.
I mean, maybe not everything the employee asked for I can give.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. But I need, at first, the employee needs to understand that why we cannot give it. Okay. So by having a transparent discussion, why we cannot give it, the reason, what did I do personally as a middle level or in a management team, what did I do in order to get it for you, but I couldn't? Okay. What's the feedback from the owners about this request, so the employee will understand? Because I started my career not as a manager. I started my career from entry level. So in our path, we believe that our manager, direct manager, is the reason of all our challenges. I mean, this is
true.
A human nature. So if you are entry level, your team leader is the source of all the challenges you are facing. The team leader will say, my manager is the source of all the challenges. The manager will say, my VP is the source of all the challenges. The VP will say, and it's a cycle. By having the open discussion and being like very transparent with the employees and with the seniors, like, this is the message that I need to share with you. Think about it. Give me the decision. Once you have the decision, I'll go back to the employee and say, this is the decision. And again, yes, we are, and I mean, we will not be, it's not an ideal word. Okay. Every businessman wants to make a business. Every business owner wants to make a profit. And this is a message I always tell my team. Okay. Every time I say, you ask for salary increase, I understand. You ask for extra benefits, I understand and I agree. And I ask for salary increase and I ask for extra business. And everyone is asking for that. But at the same time, we need to think of the owners.
Yes.
Okay. So in order to be able, I tell them, in order to be able, for me to be able to give you more, we should give them more in order to give you more. So So let's work all together to increase the revenue or the profits for the company by enhancing our productivity, our performance.
Yeah.
And then once we fill the bank accounts with more profits,
then we can ask for.
Then they will give you.
Yeah.
Because by giving you more, they know they will get more.
Yeah.
Okay. But if the employee will only ask about things and you say no without showing the reason why, definitely they will be stressed. They will feel like
undervalued.
Exactly, undervalued, and they feel like they are some employees. I mean, in my 20 years of experience, some employees, they believe that I'm doing everything great. Why I'm not getting extra money or increase? And again, it could be an issue of the manager, because the manager should be open and transparent with the employee and say, well, you are not doing what we are expecting you to do. So please, let's work together in order to achieve. Then once you achieve, you will get.
It's a full cycle, right?
It's a full cycle.
When we understand how the machinery works, it's not only me sitting in this position in this unit, it's everything else.
Exactly.
And we can relate to hospital life, right? Nurses fighting with nurses, units fighting with units, and HR against IT and all the other politics in organizations. The minute you step outside and see what's happening there, what are these people working on, what they're struggling with, why the communication is not working, why you're having this misunderstanding and struggles, because you think that you are the only one who has an issue, who is stressed, and who needs help.
With experience, you start to understand. But I mean, the big number of workforce, they are the entry-level employees. And they are still like, they don't have enough experience to understand what's going on and the skills. So that's why we need to educate them and support them. So again, we cannot talk about one entity. We need to look at the full picture. Without seeing the full picture, we will be talking, even sometimes investing in things which has no return of investment. And it happened to me. Like I'm managing a program, employee assistance program, and some clients, they are asking me for certain things to be customizing the program, where I see that by customizing this program according to their request, the program will lose the value. So I tell them clearly, like, yes, I can do it your way, but the only thing you will happen that I will be taking the money, but you are not getting anything, because this value, the value of the program will not be working for you. So even because you are asking an expert who has 10 years experience in this field, you cannot, yes, you can suggest, discuss, understand, try to understand, but you cannot tell me how to do it. I tell people usually, you cannot go to a surgeon and tell him, do the surgery for me this way. I mean, if you know how to do it yourself, why you are coming to me?
Beautiful conversation. So I want to ask you one final question, Moayyed. You are helping other humans to have their cups full. So helping them with well-being, with having good levels of mental health. What are you doing for yourself to have your cup full every day?
To have my cup full of what? Depends.
Of good energy and positivity.
Good energy. Well, see, me personally, I mean, like any other human, yes, we go through stressful period. We go through, I learned things. I mean, maybe with experience, I talk a lot. I have no issue of going to anyone in the organization, even the owner of the organization. I say, like, I'm not happy or I'm stressed. I have this strategy when I'm stressed to take a break. So I take 2 days, and this is the best thing I do. I take, for example, 2 days with a long weekend, go, for example, somewhere in within UAE or outside UAE, disconnect, put the email on the mobile on silent, disconnect completely. In my last vacation, I told the people, because really it was really difficult period. So I told the team, these are the assigned people. Please, no one can send me. Only one person in the team. I told him, if something happened and you don't know what to do, you can come back to me. And it was before, I was not doing that, to be honest. And when I travel or I'm on vacation, every day I receive calls from 10, 15 people. Khalas, this time I received from one person. And he knows, like, he, for example, collect them all together, and every other day he give me one call or give me one message. So this is how I do it. I try sometimes to be with the friends, to go out with the friends, just to disconnect. With family, like when I feel very stressed, I like to go and visit my sister and play with her kids. Although like for one hour maximum, but that will give me a break, okay, to play with them for 1 hour. So everyone has different tool to do it. Some people, yeah. And sometimes the tools change. Like at certain point, gym was the best place for me after work. So I was going to the gym. Some people playing football, a sport. Some people yoga. Some people meditation. Some people reading. So the tools cannot be standard for everyone. Okay, and it can be changed during time. Like it happened to me, and it happened. So my suggestion for everyone, try to find the tools that you like. Okay, and that makes you disconnect. Because if you will keep overthinking and keep thinking about something, about work all the time, 24/7, or even about family 24/7, or even about kids 24/7, you will be stressed for sure. You should always have a break of releasing everything from your mind, and that's it. Like there is a video in YouTube, very, very nice video about professor holding a cup of water and asking the students, how do you think, what the weight of this cup? And they start saying like 10 ounce, whatever. He said, and he answered, it's not about the weight. It's for how long you will keep holding it.
Wow.
So if you will hold it for a minute, nothing will happen. If you will hold it for an hour, you will start feel the pain. If you will hold it for 10 hours, your arm will be paralyzed. So it's not about, and here for everyone, it's not about, sometimes holding something for a long time, we feel like we are overstressed. Like just put it down, but because it's the same stress level, okay, but keep overthinking. It what makes us feel overstressed.
Such a powerful message to complete our show. Honestly, valuable.
I mean, thanks for that, Professor. I don't know if he's real professor or not, but this video, honestly, when I saw it for first time, I really loved it, and I start reflecting that, because again, back to the main idea, I'm a human. We are all human. We go through stress. So at one point I was like this, like I was keep thinking, and then I was like, what will happen if I stop thinking? Okay, and I found exactly, and I found that actually by keep thinking, I didn't change anything. Okay, and when I stopped thinking, I rested a bit, but still the result is the same.
Yeah.
So and then I was like, yeah, he is right. He is right. And I start practicing this. Yes, sometimes we cannot be always in a perfect shape, but we always need to remind ourselves that yes, we need to go back to the first point and relax and think about our life, our work, our family as a unit. Give every part of our life the right time, but give yourself also and your well-being, your mental health, the right time.
Beautiful message to conclude. So the more you think about stress, the more stressed you are.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Exactly.
Accept stress as natural part of life. It's a naturally occurring phenomenon. So guys, I'm sure you like what you hear and what you see. The energy in these sessions is amazing. We are learning so much. I mean, for me, it's an eye-opener, brain opener. For me, every single session is something new to learn. I discover new research, new science, and this is how I upgrade myself to give my people, my clients, the best service. So you like what you see and what you hear? Hit that subscribe button, but most importantly, share your feedback. We really need to know that we are doing what we are supposed to be doing well. If you have any comments, do share it with us and share it with people in your community so we can continue creating that positive ripple effect, continue raising the awareness and really normalizing the conversation about mental health, not just because it's trendy, but just because we are humans and we need it and it's important. Thank you.